I wrote to the Archbishop to say to him, would he come on his pilgrimage to Full Sutton? And we were inviting lots of men to come and hear him. And if he could possibly fit it into his pilgrimage, we'd be very pleased to see him. He agreed to come, and he turned up on time, and then went into the chapel at the full security prison there, and 39 men turned up. Many of them were strangers to us, because the weekly Bible study only has about 12 men. We knew those, but the others we didn't know, but they'd come voluntarily, and they obviously wanted to listen to the Archbishop, which we thought was great. He stood in front of them, and they were rapt as soon as he opened his mouth. Now, I know all about preaching and teaching because I've done it all my life, but when he stood up to speak, those men were there. And he said to them, he said, I've been a Christian for 56 years. He said, Jesus came into my life when I was 10 years old, and he stayed there ever since. And he said, I'm here to tell you about him. And he said, I've got a phial of oil with me. He said, and I want to pray with you if you want to, and anoint you with oil. And if you would like to come forward when we've finished, please do so. And they did. All 39 came forward, stood at the rail, and he prayed with each one individually for a minute or two, and it took him a long time, 39 men. And when he'd anointed them with oil and prayed for them, our Bible study group, we prayed for them as well individually. And it took him well over an hour extra time to do that. And we heard later from the chaplain that those men really appreciated the fact that he had given them his time, irrespective of whether it was over the limit or whatever it was, because he had other appointments after us. And the men really appreciated it. And one man, that was a complete stranger to us, a black man, he said to the Archbishop, I want you to pray for my mother. She has days left before she dies. So the Archbishop said, I'm not going to pray for her, I'm going to pray for you first. He said, then I'll pray for your mother. So he said, yes. And he prayed for this young man who had no connections, from what we gather, with any kind of Christian organisation. And then the Archbishop prayed for his mother, and then he went on to the next person. But I think what impressed me was the fact that all those men were arrested by what he said. He was at their level, they understood exactly what he was saying, and he said it in words that were just unmissable. You had to listen to what he was saying. And it was the best thing I'd been to in 14 years of visiting the prison. So we are going to invite him to come again.